Hello everyone, now we are live in the capital city of Yinchuan in Ningxia Autonomous Region, located in northwest China. And I'm reporter Chao. Today we're going to take you for a taste of the wine here in the producing Ningxia, and we'll also take you on a little tour to the green area. And today we're very pleased to be joined by French winemaker here. This is Regis.
Yes.
Okay, please say hi to our audience.
I am Regis, I came from Bordeaux. I work here since 3 years now, and I work for one important group of winemakers in Bordeaux. The name is Team, and with Stéphane Toutounji, is winemaker also. And we work in China with the Clovitis. It's a company of winemaking also. And here in this place, it's a more important vineyard organic in China. Before here, in the Yellow River Valley, it was a desert in this place. Now is a large vineyard. And today it's the first step of the planting, is the harvest. We receive the from the vineyard and we start the purification.
Has been working here for how long have been working here?
2 years. To manage the vinification with the worker here is a very good team of the vinification in soon.
Chao is built here in the city of Yinchuan. Has development in the past years, and Ningxia become one of the best places in the world that can produce the best wines, right? So now we're inside there and take a look how the wine is made here. Okay?
Exactly. Come.
Since it's mid-autumn, the harvest season, so these trucks are grapes been processed and picked out here, and maybe our audience could you please tell us what is happening over there?
I don't understand. Yes.
So the machine cannot do this. Okay, let's move on.
The berries in this tank here.
Hold on, please. So this is the tank.
This
Juice.
to see.
What is this tank of? What is this tank made of? It is aluminum, or what kind of is this? The machine is used for making juice. She is the translator of Mr. because Mr. mainly speak French, and he's gonna translation here.
Thank you very much.
所以刚才我们说这个材料是什么？
不可氧化的钢。
Can you speak English?
不是英文怎么讲？
It's steel， 不是有钢是吧 ？Steel. Let's change steel.
Exactly. In
inside the tank, yeah. Methylation.
You as well.
No.
It's juice, skin, but is in the skin, not in the juice. And we
So you keep inside of this.
the tank. And the juice after 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 depends.
The changes of the liquor in this tank. How do you monitor? How do you see the changes? You have to monitor
This we say because we test the wine. We test
test it.
exactly.
You test
Exactly. We think that's enough. When we think that's enough, we stop with the juice, and after we press the skin because there is some juice on the skin. And the wine is finished. And in the same time, there is fermentation because to the tank, but we so yeast inside the tank. And the taste is the truth.
The wine came from the nature, from the vineyard. 80% of the quality of wine is not here. 80% is the work in the vineyard. If we have very nice grape, very nice berries, we will do nice wine. If we have bad berries, cannot do.
Yeah, it's like if I am chef, I need all the best food to cook a delicious meal, right? So the grape is the most important.
The wine is like, I am winemaker, it's the same job than a big cooker, cook in the big restaurant. It's the same. If you want to do good food, you need to have I'm sorry, I was disturbed.
Okay.
We need to move.
Okay, we need to move. So talking about the grape quality, it's very great here in Ningxia, and that's why this place attracted so many winemakers coming here.
Because I think the weather is very interesting here for vineyard. During summer, there is a lot of sun. The temperature is very hot, and there is also a small mountain here. The name is Holland Mountain, and you see the vineyard is just near the mountain. Why? Because from the mountain there is some cold air, and here the climate is temperate. It's very important for wine. For vine, sorry. Vine need maybe I will
Okay,
make translator.
that's okay. You can talk to me for a while.
La vigne a besoin d'être dans une zone tempérée au point de vue climatique. Et ici, la montagne, l'air frais de la montagne vient tempérer cette zone. C'est pour ça qu'à Ningxia, il y a vraiment un vignoble très intéressant. Donc c'est
How long
那里。
等一下，先从这儿开始。
好，在这边吧。
Now we move to another place, right? Or where is this place?
This place is the more important place when yeah. And for me, the more magic place because
Another magic.
yeah, another magic place because here, for example, in this barrel, there is all the wine from last year, and yes, and
what kind of barrels here?
it is from France.
From.
I am very yes, of course. Sorry, because in France there is a special oak only in this country, and very interesting to conserve the wine, and the wine become mature.
Mature aging process.
Yeah, aging process exactly.
So the wine stay in this kind of barrel as long the better.
1 year, sometimes 1.5, 2 depends on the quality of wine. And after that, the wine can go in the bottle. Only after that.
So can we open it?
Oh yes, you want to test also maybe?
Yes.
It's possible to have a pipe to test, to keep some wine.
Well, Mr. Regis just told us all these oak barrels were imported from France.
Yes. And in all the part in the world, when we do red wine, it's the same. And here is a wonderful, there is 2,000 barrels, you know, it's very, very important.
How much is one of this?
I don't know if I can do it, but
I know they must be expensive.
it's very expensive. For example, 1 barrel in France, I don't know the price in Chinese, but in France is 600 euro.
600 euro.
Yes, but this barrel must come from France, and maybe it's more expensive
taxes.
here. But
There are taxes.
you know, it's a big effort of the boss here, Mr. Chen, to have 2,000 barrels is very important.
Okay, can we start it?
I prefer to test another one
Yeah.
Okay.
because I like it. I will explain you.
So you
why.
like the wine in those barrels?
You know, you see there is several colors, different colors, because there is a different variety. Here is a Cabernet Sauvignon, and we will test it. Please. T'as qu'à garder les verres. So. And for example, you know, new baby is my new baby. Here. oak. It's massive.
It's like
Video drink.
so first.
Is not completely ready. As strong. It is not ready, but it's very nice. Yes, is pottery.
will ask you again.
Okay. So you see? Oh, we take this wine from barrels. Ready. He's ready to put in bottles, but he must wait maybe 6 months more in the barrel.
6 months
Yes, I think because the tannin are not completely harmonious. So, but it's a nice wine. You know, the sun in the glass, the color is blue. Some what you see like color yourself. What you can see about the colors?
The color. It's like a red diamond.
Yeah. What more? And which fruit? Which fruit you smelled inside?
Fruit?
Yes, there is some fruit, no? Cassis. Some cassis.
Red.
Yeah.
So could you please tell us what do you do in this whole process of winemaking? Because they invited you all the way from France.
Yeah. But you know what? I explain you something very simple, but in fact, the winemaking is very complex because to do the wine we need some microorganisms like yeast, and they must be alive during 3 weeks, 1 month inside the tank, and to do that every day we have to test, to control the temperature, for example, to control the quality of the tannin, and it's every day we have to do that, and we have to take some decision, very important. We continue, we stop, we add some yeast or not, you know. Anytime we have to do something to arrive at the best red wine as possible.
So your expertise and all these years of experience are very important to help making good wine.
I think so, because you know, China is a young nation of wine. France is a very old nation of wine.
Thousands of years, right?
Yes, of course. And I think it's very important for Chinese winemaker to have our old expertise, you know. And it's a pleasure for me to do that here in China, because you know, France, like China, are one country with a very old story, very old culture. France and China is very near about that, and I am sure they will become very near also about the wine. And for me it's a pleasure to be here to do wine.
Yeah. And we also know that there is an emerging group of Chinese winemakers, right? Lots of Chinese young men start learning how to make wines nowadays. So do you have any Chinese students?
In France, in Bordeaux, for example, in the university, there is a lot of students from Chinese. It's very good that, and I am sure in the future Chinese people will drink more and more wine. For the moment, Chinese people don't know very well wine. They don't drink a lot wine. But I am sure now, because in this country we do more and more wine, I am sure they will like to drink wine in the future. The young Chinese people, young one, there is here a lot of young Chinese people worker. They are very interesting about wine. I am sure in the future the vineyard of Chinese will become one of the more important in the world. I'm sure of that.
Okay, thank you. much, Mr. Regis. To wrap up this part in this winemaking factory, could you please give a few tips of tasting wine to an audience? Some simple tips. As consumers.
The pleasure, first I want to answer you. The pleasure to speak with you was for me. I like to speak about wine. I think it will be very important for the Chinese young people to prefer wine at the Chinese spirit, because in the Chinese spirit there is a lot of alcohol. It's very dangerous, but in the wine, when you drink some wine with some friend or in family, is wonderful. It's very convivial. I am sure of that. In the future, Chinese people would like to do that, to drink some wine.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Regis, for talking with us. Well, now we're heading for another location, and that is where the grape is growing. So, see you later. Well, on our way to the vineyard, we can talk more about our experience that what we see here in Ningxia. So we know that this year marks the 60th anniversary. So, hi everyone, I'm Ningxia from CGTN. we've arrived in one of the vineyards in Yinchuan, and we know that Ningxia has China's largest grape planting areas, and now we are standing in one of the vineyards here, and I also want to tell you that in 2011, Ningxia is China's first place to set up a government bureau to protect the grape planting areas and also the grape production. And this office is named Ningxia Wine Industry Development Office. And now we're very pleased to be joined by researcher Chao and Mr. Chao has been working in this field in Ningxia for many years, and now she works in this government office to contribute his part to the development of Ningxia's wine industry.
赵世华老师，您首先给我们大概就是介绍一下您自己，可能就是您的这个您可能就是在这个在宁夏这边葡萄酒行业工作多少年哈？
我在这个行业呢工作了20年，主要负责技术工作。
Well, Mr. Chao has been working in the wine industry in Ningxia for 2 decades, and he is mainly responsible for the winemaking technology here.
咱们宁夏的这个整个的这个葡萄园的面积有多大？
What is the total size of the vineyards in Ningxia? Because we know that it's the biggest in China.
宁夏河洛站东部产区啊，这个现在酿酒葡萄面积有4万公顷。
4万公顷。
Well, the vineyards is mainly located at the east side of the Helan mountain. It's a very famous mountain in Ningxia. Sorry. And the total grape planting area are around 380 square kilometers.
有4万公顷呢，主要品种呢有20多个主要品种。
20 categories of grape, and this is and he refers to the wine grapes.
有干红、干白，包括白兰地，包括气泡酒，这些葡萄酒的种类也比较齐全。
And they produce various kinds of wines, including red wine, white wine, and also some bubble wines.
咱们要不然就到地里看一下。
So now let's take a look at the grapes. All right.
对吧？啊。
介绍一下吧，加一串。
说这个土壤，这个葡萄不一定说它，但是说这个土壤，这个土壤呢是比较适合于这个土壤适合于葡萄的栽培。
First, Mr. Zhao told us that they have very special soil here in Ningxia, and this is why this land has attracted so many winemakers in recent years. As you can see, they have this kind of sandy soil, 就是沙质的土壤. It's for wine grape planting. So talking about grape, we have to emphasize that these are wine grapes. It's only for wine making, and what we eat every day is bigger ones for eating.
所以呢，咱们西面有贺兰山，东面有黄河，所以在这个背上，这些山西面贺兰山。
Well, there is the Henan Mountain situated at the west side, and on the east side runs the Yellow River. Yellow River is the second largest river in China, and it's our mother river.
所以呢，经过30多年的发展，在这个产区里头种出来的葡萄，在中国最好的酿酒葡萄。
Well, Ningxia's wine industry has undergone development of 3 decades. All right, and so the grapes produced growing here are the best quality in China.
就是这个质量就是中国最好的哈。
So this is very important because great grapes produce great wine. 就是好的葡萄酿好的酒。
对，这个葡萄酿出的酒在世界上也是被业内承认是中国最好的一个产区，葡萄酒产区。
Yeah, like we mentioned before, Ningxia produces the best wine in China and produces the best wine, one of the best wines in the world, some of the best wines in the world. And we also know that actually the wines produced here have won many awards, hundreds of them, hundreds of international awards. 就是我们知道我们获了很多的这个国际大奖，对吧？
所以呢，我们现在在你像品城口、布鲁塞尔这些我们的企业有60多家酒庄，在世界上获得了500多项大奖。所以呢，在这个葡萄酒的品质也体现了宁夏贺兰山东部产区的风格风土，得到了这个业内的认可。
Well, the wine industry, the international wine industry, the wine produced here in Ningxia have been acknowledged by all the experts in this industry. So, how the climate here? 这个当地的天气怎么样? Since Ningxia is located in a remote place in China, far away to the northwest, it's around 1,000 kilometers from our capital city, Beijing. So people would often think that this place is so cold and so dry. So, how is the climate here? 就是咱们这儿的天气究竟怎么样？因为它在西北嘛，可能我们大家就会觉得这个地方好像特别干、特别冷。
我们的光照3000多个小时，一年
3000
个小时啊，3000以上。
This place has sunshine of around 3,000 hours a year.
降雨量不到200毫米。
And the rainfall is less than 200 million meters. So small rainfall and lots of sunshine. So these are the necessary conditions for growing good grapes, right?
就是这个少的雨量，然后足够的这个阳光，也是一个非常重要的条件。
这非常重要，这就是产好葡萄的一个，再加上我们的土壤，好的土壤，有这个气候条件，加土壤，加我们选择从世界各地来选择的优良品种，就是我们葡萄酒优质葡萄酒的基础。
Import lots of the grape category from overseas， 就是我们可能品种也是从国外引进来。
我们品种这60多个品种也好，我们选择的20多个主栽品种都是从欧亚种的一个主要从欧亚种，你比如赤霞珠啊，对。但是呢，我们选择了适合于贺兰山东路有20多个。
其他的
其他的就可能不太适应，就是有这个特点。
就是我们引进60种，但是
对，就是中选择在宁夏表现好的有20多个种。对。
Okay, Mr. Chao told us they firstly introduced 60 categories of wine grapes here to Ningxia, but after some experiments, they found that only 20 categories of these wine grapes can adapt to the environment here and really grow very well. As you can see, this vineyard looks beautiful. It's all green. You may not know that many years ago, this place was an area of desert. 就是其实我们现在看里边可能会看不出来哈，其实可能很多年前我们这个是不是又是个沙漠啊？
这是个戈壁滩。这个地呢是第一次开垦，都是
多少年前是戈壁滩？
就是8年以前吧。10年以前吧，就是8年到10年以前吧，都是戈壁滩，没有开垦。
Well, about 8 to 10 years, this place was Gobi.
这是把黄河水提上来的灌溉，滴灌。
那是什么时候开始把黄河水？
就是开垦这片地的时候就开始提上黄河水。
那是什么时候开垦？
就是08年吧，09年。
Well, about 10 years ago, that was around 2008. Local people started to develop this place. They used water from the Yellow River as irrigation source for watering the grapes here. 所以这个过程其实还是挺难的。I guess it must be a very difficult work, very difficult process.
投入的成本很大，因为这个开垦的呢也是很不容易的。
Well, they invested a lot in doing this.
所以呢，成本相对高，品质好，所以呢，市场前景呢，今后在中国市场上的前景是比较好的一个产区。
Well, the cost used to be high, but it turned out I believe the future of the wine industry in Ningxia is quite promising.
还有吗？没了。
We also know that the wine industry in Ningxia has also attracted many tourists. The local government also make the most of the industry, using it as a source of tourism industry. 就每年我们的游客也很多，是吗？大概每年游客
每年有个40-50万吧，可能未来呢，可能能达到100万甚至200万，这2年都在2位数在增。
Well, now in recent years, these vineyards and that the number will increase to 1 million in the coming few years. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Zhao Shihua. Thank you.
谢谢。
And previously, we've talked to one of our new media reporter, Ningxia, and she told us lots of what she's seeing in this place, what interested her most. So we can go on talking about this for a while, okay? So besides the folk artists you mentioned before, what else in this place that impressed you very much?
Actually, because yesterday marks the 60th anniversary of the founding of Ningxia Autonomous Region, so we interviewed several performers, and actually they are students here, and they practiced for a lot of time to join the ceremony yesterday, and actually we interviewed a young student he's from Ningxia University. He told us that he and his and all the students has practiced for over 40 days to just for yesterday's performance.
Yeah, I know that you talked to lots of local people. So could you please show some videos of them? I think that might be interesting.
Yes, here. So do you see the haircut first?
Yeah, sure. So this is from TikTok.
Yes, from TikTok. And actually, pay work for us.
Okay. Thank you very much, Michelle. You must have a good time in Ningxia. And I think that's all for today. So if you want to find more about this magical land, the beautiful land, Ningxia, you can find us at CGTN social platforms. So thanks for watching.